Yo guys, how's it going? DB back again, and I've got a bit of a tour for you for this episode, just to show you what I've been up to and how we're progressing so far. At the moment we've still got our house going. The harvester outside has taken this whole thing apart again, so I've had to put a glass little cover on there, as you can see, and that's sort of worked for the moment. But here is the big change. Downstairs, our turtle has taken out almost all 4 chunks. So you get 1, 2, 3 and 4 there. He's working on this one at the moment. But I plan to empty this whole area out and then just put platforms like this through it. Now as you can see, this is the underside of that tree farm, where the combustion generator is. That's coming down to a capacitor bank where all processing is. And so far that's quite profitable for me. Now this way you can actually see that I've managed to set up a bit of a mob farm. Now I struggled to get a blaze spawner out of the nether, mainly because everyone else had grabbed one before I had a chance, but Rapid helped me out. We made another one way further out, made a grinder first up, and just got some mob essence in backlog. And using that with 1 reactant dynamo and using the blaze powder that we get from the drops to generate our power, and that powers both of them self-sustaining very easily. And the benefit of these grinders, I've noticed, it must be a thing in the Minecraft, it actually gives you these uncommon treasures. Oh, got another one without even thinking. Oh, excellent. And see, it gives you all these gold stuff. Gold coins are really good because you can substitute them for gold nuggets as well. You can re-smelt them to be nuggets. Man, I can't believe getting that diamond. But with all this going on, actually, I've got to show you something else. I made myself an electrical steel jetpack. I actually got sick of having to pillar everywhere. And most of the boys have gone for the leadstone through to hardened way, and I decided to go the Ender through the conductive iron, which is very simple. So you make a couple of those, and it gets a little bit complicated with the how you have to make it. It's not so much hard, but it's just fiddly. And then yeah, so you progress through conductive iron up the alloys, so electrical steel, and then energetic, and then vibrant, and then dark solarium. So one day we'll get solarium. But yeah, at the moment I'm rocking the electrical steel, and that gives me about 400 RF, 400,000 RF, my bad. But here you can see all our mob essence. There's our little setup over there, and we've actually filled the barrel up. Here is where I plan to put our power setup, so basically just a ton of reactive dynamos, and that should supply enough power for the whole base. Okay, so what I've got to do next, we've actually set up a little Nether Hub as well between everyone's bases, but what I need to do is I need to get some decent tools. I've kind of had enough of the here you can see all the other types of drops that get out of the common treasures, excepting these two, obviously. Cypher's back. Excellent. We'll be getting into it soon. But we need cobalt and alamite. And one way to get it is by using steel. Oh man, just die. Now I was getting these in the little treasure loot bags, but I found out if you get a full durability, like, you know, put 2 together, you can actually smelt them down into steel. So that's made the whole thing so much easier to progress, and that means I won't need to make alamite. So I'm going to make one of these picks, go and gather some cobalt. And actually, before I go, let's kill this spider and I'll show you the updates to the tree farm. I've upgraded this guy to have a double layer capacitor, and at the moment it's not running at anything because it doesn't require the power, but it runs at 40 RF a tick, and at a burn rate of 1.5 instead of 2. Now 40 RF a tick is enough to run 2 machines constant, since they suck down 20 RF a tick, as you can see in the tooltip. This guy is just my sand generator, cobblestone generator into a sag mill, pulverize that into the sand, and that's just got 2 world interaction upgrades. It just plugs along. It just keeps me in stock of sand, and especially when I need silicon for that redstone alloy. Okay, well, hopefully I won't die in the nether, and these will take some time. In fact, I need to get more lava, so I'll see you guys in a bit. Welcome back, guys. It's been a couple of days again, but I just thought I'd show you. Last time we left off trying to get the steel for the cobalt. I managed to get just a bit of cobalt. I've been to the nether a couple of times, and we've got some ardite there and some cobalt there, and I've managed to make a few tools. Now if we go upstairs, oh, what the fuck? Okay, so yeah, the boys seem to have, we're doing a bit of pranking now. This is actually a really cool feature that you'll find. Some people can't do it because of the keyboard conflict, but if you can place an item on the wall by hitting P, but I think the night vision from one of the other mods conflicts with it, so make sure your controls aren't conflicting. Whoa, let's sleep. My god. That could have been fatal. Good thing they, the paths actually screw with their pathfinding. So the path means they can't find a path. So stuff ya. But yes, so, oh, and you may notice this hardened portable tank. That's just full of, I think, liquid DNA. That was from Rapid's Mistcraft Age. I thought it might be handy sooner or later. Oh my god. What the hell was that? Infested. Rightio. Oh, I got a loot bag from that too. Yeah, just to show you, this is how much steel we've got now. That's simply through the, oh jeez, they've even done the outside. That's great. Oh, that's great. We should do something like this. We should find a way to actually make more detail by placing items there. That'd be cool. But just to show you the tools that I've got now. So my cobalt pickaxe is just straight up flux. I haven't made any modifiers to it yet, but it is a cobalt head, a manual rod, and a binding. And I think if I go control, yeah, there we go there. So you can see it's a the cobalt head, paper binding, manual and tool rod, and that's just gives me an extra modifier, and it's still very, very quick. The hammer, I think I've done, yeah, 2 cobalt plates, which give me my speed. The ardite hammerhead, which gives me the stonebound modifier, so once the durability is low enough, it becomes most efficient. And I've also got RF on that as well. And the RF is determined by the durability, so it's like, it's, the durability is 1/1000th of the power. So this thing has like a durability of 1800, 90. So multiply that by 1000, and then you'll get whatever amount of RF you can put on it. Now, obviously, I've been going with Capacitor Banks simply because they're the best bang for your buck. I mean, a basic capacitor bank would get you 1,000,000 RF. I've just been chucking them on, simply because that's the closest thing I can do. So if it had like 1000 durability, you could put 1,000,000 RF. So you could put a basic capacitor, but you can't put the larger ones which have 5,000,000 RF or whatever, simply because they don't have that amount of durability. But if they had, I think 5,000, yeah, 5,000 durability, you could put one of those on it. Anyway, yeah, so the sword, get my hammer back. Oh, don't leave that in there. The sword is just a maxed out on quartz and just the flux, but it's all manual and except the paper tool rod. That just gave me an extra modifier. But you can see that it does 13.5 hearts, which is pretty decent. not to the scale that Mr. Archer is. He's done some witchcraft on his that I haven't figured it out yet. But yeah, that's enough for me. I've maxed out all of the modifiers on it too, simply because I used the diamond and the gold block, and what else is there? There's the diamond block and the golden apple. I managed to get a golden apple from a loot bag, so that's quite convenient. And the Nether Star. Now, Rapid and me fought a couple of withers. Well, I stood to the side because I was clearly not geared up at the time. But he gave me a couple Nether Stars. And you can tell what I spent it on. Now, these guys are awesome. Normally, you could only use the golden wings. Godlin, yeah. These guys, the angel ring. And they take 2 unstable ingots, and I haven't got an active, division sigil yet. Rapid does, I helped him with that, but yeah. So I was looking for a cheaper way to do it, and found this guy. And all it takes is just super cheap materials and just the Nether Star. That makes your advanced belt base, and then just add 2 feathers and you're done. And look at this. Creative flight. Yeah. Look at that, not fallen. Fly for ages, go through the end. That's another thing that I'm preparing for. Me and the boys are all about to take on the Ender Dragon. So I've been getting some dark armor. This stuff is actually pretty easy once you get the materials. Like, it's just some coal, some obsidian, and some iron, really. And you only need like 24 to make a full set of armor. But I had plenty of obsidian from a turtle. And yeah, I was just getting most of the materials elsewhere. But these guys, as much as being strong armor, they're also upgradable. So you can see there in the blue text all the different upgrades you can put on each of the different pieces. So, you can have apiarist stuff, which is what I actually want to do. I'll have a bit of a chat with you about that later. But at the moment, I'm just maxing out the RF on them. So each empowered level takes a different power thing. So as you can see on my booties, Empowered 2 will be a basic capacitor plus 10 levels, and that will double the RF or whatever. Actually, no, it adds 50,000, yeah. And then these guys, I've already put the Empowered 2 on. So to have Empowered 3, it needs a double layered capacitor. So we'll do that in a bit. We'll probably try and max that out before the Ender Dragon fight. I doubt I'm going to need that much, but we'll see what we need. Another thing is that because these guys have got the Cursed Earth, they don't need a player around, and because it's spot loaded, it constantly runs. Now, when I came in, this was full, and it was full of these loot bags, the common and the uncommon. So, of course, I can't just sit here, right-clicking it all day. You get stuff and it fills up your inventory and absolutely makes it shocks. So what I did was I made an automated way to dispense them. So it just uses a autonomous activator, and since the new patch, it's hooked into the power. And that just dumps it into an empty spot on the ground. The vacuum hopper picks it up and sends it through to 2 filing cabinets, which is armor and potions, and then the rest just get dumped in here. So we'll just put these guys away. You do get quite a lot of good kit from it all. Don't know what to do with these. I haven't started Thaumcraft yet. Most of them I've just been turfing, like, see you later. However, you do need this guy off, because the moment you have it on, it will screw with it so bad because it fights the vacuum hopper. But let's get these good ones. No! No worries. We'll just fly down there with no fall damage. Oh, brilliant. I do like the jetpacks, but yeah, they do get annoying when you have to constantly make sure that yes, they're on, and yes, you have enough power, and gets a bit scary in the end when you realise that you may not have as much power as what you think to get home. Yeah, am I missing some? I don't know. I'll figure it out in a bit. However, if we dump these guys in here, you can see it opens each one, vacuum hopper sucks it through, and it'll back up as well, simply because this guy can't suck it in quick enough. But holy, it gives you some good stuff. Look at all the gold coins we're getting. Now these gold coins are brilliant because they're a substitute for gold nuggets, but you can also melt them down into gold nuggets and make gold bars with them. And the potions that we're getting, if we just look in this one, these are all the potions I've got so far. These things are so overpowered. I'm planning on actually, let's get rid of that guy. I'm planning on making a potion generator just based off all these guys, simply because it's free power. Why not? And of course the chain leggings, they've just got a little bit of durability on them, so you have to pair them up. But if you put them in a smeltery, you get a ton of steel, which is where all that steel came from. But yeah, you get tons of stuff like emeralds and gold and diamonds and ender pearls, golden apples, notch apples. That's amazing. And quite a few Thorncraft things. So I'm only keeping the stuff that seems useful. Not quite sure. I might need your guys' help if you're more educated on Thorncraft than me. The only thing I know is about these notch fragments, and that gives you the research. So that'll save me in the future when I start Thorncraft. But yeah, this guy will just suck it through. You also get books, enchanted books as well, but they've only got, you know, two kinds of enchants on them. But yeah, these guys are pretty decent when you're actually using Thorncraft, because you can spec them up to have more of a discount. But for the moment, I think we're good. Oh, let's use a splash potion of swiftness. And now we're even quicker. Brilliant. Yeah, so I'm just getting ready for the big fight, because it is a draconic dragon, so it should be a lot more than the usual ones. But yeah, I think that'll be in my next video. I just thought I'd give you an update on what we're doing and show you what the boys have been doing. I'll give a tour of the other bases probably afterward when they're all online. Also, as you may notice, I found a garden biome. That's going to be handy for when I do all my vegetables and farming and all that later on. And of course this guy's full. Of course it is. It's already full with 128 stacks. Good lord. Let's take a few out. Yeah, he's chugging away. Okay, so where is this series going? Well, I want this series to be entertaining for one, and B, I want it to be challenging. So for me, I've always wanted to get into bees properly. I dabbled in it on Direwolf, but I didn't really get that far ahead. I'm going to self-impose a rule of 0 quarries. So I'm not allowed to use a quarry in any form. The turtles is where I've drawn the line, but that's more just to clear out the bottom of the base for the underground area that I want to build in. That's given me my basic resources, but from here on, I won't be using ender quarries, I won't be using quarry pluses, all that sort of business will be off limits. I'll have to make sure that all my resources are renewable and all my power is renewable. So as much as having just a blaze farm is there, and you know it's OP enough to have power going, like I've had these maxed out with the augments, like, you know, all 3 other augments, and they've kept up, you know, 640 times 5. If you can get a calculator and do that for me, that'd be great. But yeah, these things are beasts, but obviously I won't need that much power, but I'll just need enough power to run some industrial apiaries. I'm planning on going on alvearies to save on power here and there. But yeah, so as you can see, like I've just made a platform for each little area that I want to do. I'm going to make one here and that'll be my little bee laboratory. And we can start breeding them up. Thank God for gendistry, because that makes it so much quicker, and especially for you guys, I don't want to just like put 2 bees in an apiary and be like, okay, see you in 20 minutes. I want it done quicker. So that's why we need the good amount of power first, and then we can get into the resources. I might actually experiment with a couple of different power sources. I've actually got a really funny, cool one in mind. And it won't use any spawners, and it should be relatively lag friendly, like very server friendly. And I think I'll show you that in the next episode after the dragon fight. So anyway guys, I hope you just enjoyed this little update, and we'll see you for the big fight. Alright, take care guys, see you later.